Rich habitats. With extraordinary creatures. And spectacular natural events. A place where nature and mankind have lived in harmony for centuries. This is Korea. Korea lies on the eastern edge of Asia. The peninsula is 700 miles long and 150 miles across, and is split into two nations. But long before modern conflict divided the land, tectonic plates collided to create a dramatic landscape. "60 million years ago, unimaginable forces raised the jagged peaks that dominate the east of Korea. In the central region are lush, temperate forests. Further south, these give way to fertile wetlands. And where the land finally meets the sea, the shallow incline creates vast tidal ranges with endless mudflats, teeming with life. Korea is surrounded on three sides by ocean. It has over 5,000 miles of coastline. In the far south, the islands of Jeju are home to a resident population of Indo-Pacific bottlenose dolphins. Dolphins are often wide-ranging, traveling from place to place in search of food. But this group choose to live here all year round. In the bountiful waters around these volcanic islands. Bottlenose dolphins are highly social creatures and live in tight-knit matriarchal pods. Group members communicate constantly. Each dolphin is identified by its own signature whistle. And they are quick to recognize the presence of any strangers in their territory. Today, their curiosity is piqued by a presence here that is almost as ancient as their own. Dolphins can be wary of divers, but not of this one. Like them, she dives free, exploring the depths on a single breath. The pod have grown up sharing these waters with an all-female free-diving community known as the Hanyo, Sea Women. She scours the seabed in search of its natural treasures. They live in harmony as they have done for hundreds of years. Soon the season will change, and these waters will be filled with prizes for the Hanyo. "300 miles north, on the Korean mainland, the palaces of the Joseon kings, an imposing legacy of the powerful dynasty that once ruled here. But the palaces are now home to a family of a different kind. A family of raccoon dogs. Though they are named for their resemblance, they are much more closely related to dogs than they are raccoons. This opportunistic family have left their usual forest dwelling for the safety of the palace grounds. For the most part, life is good here. But they are not the only ones to take advantage of the opportunities here. There is a rival group that occupies the other side of the palace grounds. With young pups, the family's father must be extra vigilant. At around 4 months old, pups learn to forage for themselves. But hunting insects requires a little practice. Raccoon dogs will eat almost anything. Tonight, the family is anticipating something extra special on the menu. Cicada nymphs. A lavish banquet of juicy beetles. The nymphs emerge en masse during a narrow window in the summer. For one night only, the family will have more food than they can eat. The nymphs have spent 5 years slowly growing in the soil. They must now find higher ground, where they can metamorphosize into their flying form. Such rich rewards attract hungry rivals. The pack of young males from the far side of the palace grounds are also eager to have their fill. Distracted by the feast, the usually wary father has strayed into harm's way. He is outnumbered and in danger. The mother and pups retreat to a safe distance. Their father escapes, injured but lucky to be alive. His mate tends to his wounds. The palace may provide rich feeding grounds, but such wealth comes at a price. Some of the cicadas have reached their destination. After years of lying underground, the lucky ones will get their wings. During metamorphosis, they are at their most vulnerable. But up here, at least they are safe from the hungry pups. Now they will devote the last chapter of their life, just 1 month, to finding a mate. It is a cycle that has played out here for hundreds of years. During this time, the world beyond these walls has changed. The palace is now surrounded by South Korea's capital city, Seoul. Seoul is home to one of the most densely packed human populations on the planet. It is easy to see why the raccoon dogs seek refuge in the palace. But there are places where humans and nature coexist in perfect harmony. The island of Narado, the southernmost point of Korea. Beyond the cliffs and caves, there is a small community, the Haenyeo, sea women, as they are known here. Today, they are preparing for an important dive. There are men on the island too, but a sisterhood drives the local economy. Most divers are over the age of 60, and some are much older. At this time of the year, the waters here provide an abundant crop of conches, a highly valuable mollusk. The Haenyeo only harvest the conches after the breeding season to ensure the harvest remains sustainable. Chungun Kim is captain. She must decide if it's safe to dive.
위험한 건 많아요. 굉장히 물 조류가 굉장히 세요. 작년에 돌아가신 분이 있어요. 나이 연세는 71세. 바다에 가서 내일도 안전하게 그냥 갔다 오게 해주십사.
Walrus-Sea is the oldest living haenyeo. In fact, she is the oldest diver anywhere in the world.
한 이거 12살에 시작했거든.
She is now 94 years old. The dive captain has decided they will dive. Conditions are not ideal, but the conch season is short and they must make the most of it. An experienced haenyeo can dive to depths of 20 meters and hold her breath for more than 2 minutes. This places significant stresses on the body. There is a very real risk of blackout as the haenyeo repeatedly travel between the surface and the seabed. As they dive, their heart rate slows and blood is shifted from their extremities to their core, increasing the availability of oxygen. The haenyeo benefit from this adaptation to enable them to keep working on their long, cold dives. But it's exhausting work, even for the younger divers.
네, 서로가 서로를 걱정을 해요. 그래가지고 또 혹시나 이제 물속에서 잘못되실까봐 그렇게 그것 때문에 다 이제 걱정을 하고 있는 거죠.
여기서는 못 걷는데 물에선 가면은 잘 걸을 수가 있어요. 바다에 가면.
She may not be able to hold her breath for as long as she once did. But at 94, Walrus-Sea is still capable of diving all day. The women work together against a rising tide. The waters here are changeable, and the longer they stay, the greater the risk. The The season is short, so the women must persist and reap the harvest while it is there. Back on the